Okay, so let's start. So hello everybody on our next Open Virtualization Pro webinar. Again, Jacek Skorzynski.
Together with Pawel Maczka.
Yes. Last time I was problem with his surname. Right now he has a problem with my name. So let's
1-1.
1-1. So today's subject you see is part 3, getting started admin task automation with Ansible on oVirt Red Hat virtualization. So the third time.
Yes.
I'm not saying that is the last time, but definitely we'll look forward for some new subjects. It's a huge subject. That's why we need to divide it into the 3 different parts.
Exactly.
Last 2 times we have a really good discussion, lots of comments, lots of people who've been engaged. You know how many people watched the post-production webinar?
Tell me, please.
1. No, just kidding. I think more than 1,000. So we have a really good stats on it. So Jacek, what we have for our guest today?
Okay, so we gonna extend today a little bit our tandem, which is Red Hat virtualization, oVirt, and Ansible. We will introduce Red Hat CloudForms.
Okay, so something new. The CloudForms will appear on this webinar. Good.
Yes. But for sure we're gonna use exactly the same stack, meaning technologies one from previous meetings, the Red Hat virtualization, Ansible. Together, I will show you a little bit Ansible Tower, and embedded Ansible inside of CloudForms. It's gonna be additional thing.
Okay, so looking forward to watch this. So let's start with introducing ourselves. Yes.
Yes. So my name is Jacek Skorzynski, and I'm a Red Hat solution architect based in Warsaw. My main focus, I would say, is automation at Red Hat. Yes? So everything around Ansible, this is my topic. And of course, Red Hat virtualization, because I'm a pure infrastructure guy. So, so it needs to be there.
So you're connecting the infrastructure with the automation.
Yes, exactly what I do every day. Yes.
What about the bicycle?
Bicycle is my after work activity, I would say.
Okay.
So riding bike with my kids, with my wife. This is my pleasure.
And everybody on the same bike.
Not exactly, but close to each other.
Okay, and also valuable.
Yes. I'm a big fan. Currently watching more than playing, but we will see. I hope it will change soon. Okay,
good. So
and you.
So a few words about myself. I'm Pawel Maczka. I'm one of the co-founders of the Storware company. I do a lot of specialization in the backup and recovery area, and of course the Red Hat virtualization and the oVirt. It's really close with our products. We given the option to we're doing the properly data protection for this kind of the platforms. We'll tell a few words about it later on. And I hope also still my hobby is also the kids. Don't worry. There's not there, but also the mountains. But the guitar, we have our own band. We saying it's whatever metal. So if you would like to hear what we built and recorded lately, just give us. I got
a challenge for you. Maybe one webinar you should come with the guitar and show us a few riffs. Maybe
this is the option. I need to speak with the Martin operator. Is the option to doable? Martin, is it doable?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, we'll try. Okay, let's go for it.
Okay. Oh, sorry. So what we just did till now, we present you the oVirt Red Hat virtualization technology, which is the open virtualization technology based on KVM. For those of you who wasn't with us previously, please take a look a little bit about what is inside. Yes, so we are based on KVM. KVM is a heart for Red Hat virtualization for oVirt. Yes, this is the sweet spot, I would say. And we of course have a tooling on top of it, which is the main tool for us to maintain the whole ecosystem is Red Hat Virtualization Manager, which is also built on a Red Hat stack. Yes, there is nothing too hidden that it's built on Red Hat Enterprise Linux, all the way down up to the middleware portfolio, the JBoss AEP, and then the application itself, which forms Red Hat Virtualization Manager. Then on top of it, we've got of course also a web browser admin portal, which gives us an possibility to manage our virtual platform. User portal, just a slightly smaller brother of admin portal, just to give your users a way to operate with, to play with your VMs. And of course REST API, Python SDK, which we use for Ansible, highly used for Ansible. Yeah, so that's the story around Red Hat virtualization, what you should be aware of.
Okay.
And why Ansible? This is the good question. We already talked a little bit about that. Yes, so
because we are lazy. This is what we said. We would like to get the things, we would like to get the things done easier and the faster.
Yes, that's correct. And this is a huge, big, smile when you're just starting something and it's doing, and this is done automatically. Yes, so you don't need to touch anything. It's done. It's just done.
I've seen on one of the presentations on last week Red Hat Forum, marching stage with Zbigniew Paris. They installed all of the SAP HANA on the Power with just one click. Yeah, just one click.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So we love it. Yes, I love it personally. But why Ansible?
I will not tell your wife. Okay.
Why Ansible? Ansible is agentless, so we don't need to modify our endpoints at all. Yes, we connect to it with native APIs, native protocols like SSH, like REST API for Red Hat virtualization. Yes, so that's how we do it. Then it's simple. Why it's simple? Because after even half a day, maybe few hours of working with Ansible without any knowledge about this technology, you're gonna be you can name yourself an expert, yes, in this technology, because it's really simple to start first playbook and to get a value from it. Yes, not just hello world, but something which will work for sure. Yes, so that's the beauty. Why powerful? Because we have a huge community underneath. Yes, this is a huge community of independent developers, of our companies, which are our certified partners in this Ansible ecosystem. This is not only Red Hat in it. There is much more in it. Yes, so you will find right now more than 3,000 modules for Ansible. Yes, for different parts, for platforms.
Will you show today the Ansible inside the CloudForms?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so
I will.
This is a goal.
Yeah, this is the goal.
Good.
Yeah, one of them.
Let's go.
Okay, so what we can find in the oVirt space, as I said, it's a huge number of modules, and here in the oVirt space, we can find a lot of them. Yes, so basically speaking, just to give you a brief idea what you can do with Ansible on oVirt, everything which you can click through the admin portal, you can do with Ansible automatically.
So this is the simple answer. What can I do? Everything which is visible from the UI perspective.
From REST API, basically speaking. Yes.
Okay.
So even if it's not there in the UI perspective, from the UI perspective, you can also do it with Ansible. Yes. So that's the goal, and so we are developing it constantly. Yes. So new things are coming, new things are there. Already just a week ago, or even less than a week ago, we introduced Ansible Engine 2.9. So for each one of you who would like to just jump into the hottest one, it's already there. You can download, you can install it, you can play with it. Yes, and oVirt modules are also there. Yes? So you don't need to think, search, whatever. You have everything you need inside Ansible itself. Okay, but I told you today that we're gonna add to this tandem CloudForms also. So what is that? Yes, what is the CloudForms? So CloudForms basically is the tool to manage our underlying infrastructure. Yes, so it's a virtualization, it's a private cloud, it's a public cloud. If we are talking about AWS, Azure, that's what we can do with CloudForms. We can also manage bare metals if we want. Yes, with Lenovo X-Clarity and also with Redfish provider, which is right now at tech preview, but it's coming in a new release. I don't think we just released version 5 of CloudForms. I need to check if it's already fully supported. Didn't do that yet.
But the key point is that I see from the virtualization perspective, you can go beyond the Red Hat virtualization and oVirt. Yes.
Yes.
You can go on the different virtualizations such as VMware and the Microsoft Hyper-V.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to think to get the CloudForms as a one management
one
for
place,
all of
yes,
the
one umbrella over your different providers. Yes. But today we're gonna concentrate on Red Hat virtualization. And show you different things which you can do with CloudForms together with Ansible and Red Hat virtualization on it.
Okay.
Yes. So that's the goal. What you will find out here also, it's not only just another management tool to click through some different GUIs. You will get here also a policy and compliance module, which can be also implemented, which is by default included in the product. The operational and visibility, all the things regarding your virtual private cloud platforms are already there in the CloudForms. The service automation. So we will today prepare service template and present it to the self-service portal. I will show you later on how to do it easily and quickly with Red Hat CloudForms. Yes, and many more. So that's really huge thing. I believe so. So how we put together all of this? Yes. So CloudForms is basically delivered as a virtual appliance. And if you would like to install CloudForms, is just downloading the proper appliance for your proper provider. Meaning, if you would like to install it on a ref, you've got special image for it.
Okay.
Yes, so that's basically it. And your installation lasts like 5 minutes maybe, including download. Yes, if you have a good connection. Then you will get a web-based admin portal, also self-service portal for your end customers, for your users. Yes, just to consume what you prepared on top of CloudForms. Of course, the multi-tenancy is there. Yes, so you can also introduce it into the product. If you would like to cut your infrastructure through the multi different organizations and to use it, consume it like a kind of private cloud infrastructure. Yes, so that's something you can do also. And this pluggable API framework, meaning that everything what we do with CloudForms is done via API call. So again, like Ansible, we don't need to modify our Red Hat virtualization or OpenStack. We don't need to do that. We just can we do it with native API calls for the platform itself, and the same the other way around. If we would like to call CloudForms not using the GUI console, we can also call.
So
CloudForms
the same approach, everything with the API. Okay.
Yeah. Horizontal scaling. So if we want more, if we want to scale, we are just adding new appliances. Yes, so another appliance can hold another role. Yes, or can hold multiple roles of it. It can be a database. It can be
from the starting point. It's good to have first one. So we don't need to multiple.
Most of the time we start with one. Actually, we should start with maybe two. Okay. Just as a basic. So one will be our database appliance, and the other will be the rest. Okay. Yes, I would say. So then it will be much easier to scale, yes, because then we can introduce another appliance for the database and make it highly available than another appliance or set of appliances for another roles, yes, like a web-based portal, like workers, and so on and so forth. And the last one, which I would like to mention today, is role-based access and tagging. So you can also assign certain groups, certain users to roles where they will find out, or they will be able to start only or manipulate only the set of infrastructure which you will allow them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very good. But also with tagging system, you can tag. You can apply specific tags, and based on tags say, okay, this user can only see machines which are tagged with the tag X.
Easy
or
representation
Y. Yes.
of the user access
Control.
Yes.
Okay. Exactly. This is the self-service portal, so I will try to show you today because we've got a live demo, and with live demo everything is possible.
Okay, so go for it.
Hope we will.
So we can skip it if we can destroy your demo. So let's look. I
hope it will work just from the beginning to the end without any problems. But this portal is dedicated for consumers, users, internal, external, doesn't matter. Just having the portfolio of services, they can click through it, they can click through the dialog which we can attach to this service, and then they can parameterize somehow their services and order them, like in the internet shop.
So the major change is that you're not looking as a specific VMs, you're looking as a VM as a kind of the service. Yes. So you can put multiple VMs, multiple different applications into one service, and you are building the catalog of the services. Okay.
Even more, using Ansible, you can also introduce here an configuration as a service. So you don't need to start a VM instance, new thing. You can also configure something which is already there, yes, which already exists on your platform. All right. So I told you about Ansible, and Ansible is also a part of CloudForms. So it can act in a both way, I would say. It can act as an embedded Ansible inside Red Hat CloudForms, but it can also act as an Ansible tower which can connect together with Red Hat CloudForms. So I will show you both integrations today, how to configure it, how to start working with them. But then we will use today only the embedded one just for the demonstration. So one more, and this is your time.
This is my time.
Yeah, this is your slide.
Oh gosh, can you go on mute?
Okay, let me just. Where do I have? Sorry.
I will mute you.
Okay. Good.
So this is the example, or just give us a sec, we have some issues. So vProtect is one of the example how we can integrate and build the backup as a service approach with the CloudForms. So when you said about the easily API approach, how to connect it, so then I started to smiling, because this is what we did with the CloudForms integration. So we have our RESTful API, so we can manage everything, and we can fully hidden the backup and expose it into the different third-party portals. So here we see the representation that if you have a VMs or you build in your own catalog, so you don't need to also ask the different administrators, different departments for doing a backup, but we can build the self-service approach, and you can see that we already provided the option, the individual new, let's say, menus. Thank you. So you can back up, you can restore, you can schedule. Actually, you can do everything what we build on top of the CloudForms. So this is just of the example.
Extension of the
extension of the options. This is a brilliant scenario that the backup is the one of the area, of course, that we are working on. But I just wanted to keep you in mind that if you will think about the oVirt, Red Hat, or the other virtualization engine, and you will looking for the backup as a service approach and self-service approach, the vProtect is one of the platforms that you can go with. What is important is that if we build on top of the CloudForms this feature, like additional parameters and additional buttons, we don't need to work on the multi-tenants. We don't need to actually have this kind of the capabilities in the backup platforms. The CloudForms giving us the whole range of the different options built on top of this engine. Okay, so let's go for the demo file. This is what I'm waiting for right now.
Okay.
To destroy something.
Let me just unmute. All right. Back again, and what I would like to show you today is the first of all, I would like to introduce you to CloudForms. So I would like to show you how to integrate one of our providers, which is Red Hat Virtualization for today, with CloudForms. Yeah? So we can do some quick overview what we can do from out of the box, I would say, and how the integration is really simple, because it's really simple, just few clicks and nothing else to do. Then I would like to also show you how to integrate Red Hat CloudForms with Ansible. Yeah? So we've got, as I spoke previously, we've got two options using embedded Ansible. I will show you how to turn it on, and also use Ansible Tower. I will show you the integration part where we can find it. Then next thing, we will create a simple service template just to demonstrate you how straightforward it is and how we can play with it. Attaching some dialogue and put it into the right service catalog just for user to see it, yes, to be able to consume it. Okay, that's the idea. And the last one, I hope we'll have enough time to proceed, is another piece, CloudForms, Rev, and Ansible together, meaning custom buttons. So what Pavel just said, I will show you how to make it work with embedded Ansible on top of one of the VM, yes, or the VM view, I would say. Okay, so let's get started. I will stop presenting now and let me just connect to my demo environment. Hope it's still working as it is live.
Yeah, just for your information, it's not recorded demo, so everything can happen now.
Yes. I hope it will be smooth.
Like always. So you're going into the Red Hat virtualization you started with, yeah?
Yes. So just to let you know how we're gonna proceed. This is my Red Hat virtualization environment. Then I would like to also show you the dashboard of Red Hat CloudForms. Then I also prepared some example, actually the playbook which we're gonna use. You can see it's just 9 lines of code, of playbook code, I would say, which is really simple one, but it's quite powerful, I believe so. Still, even with 9 lines, we can squeeze it to 8 if we want.
Nine is good.
And then Ansible Tower, which I also have prepared for today. But to be honest, we don't need it for the demo. I just want to show you that we will be able to sync in with it using CloudForms. Okay, so having CloudForms, we are able to see our dashboard, and this dashboard which you see here is just this is just my composition. Yes? You can tune it to your needs. You can even introduce different dashboards for different users, different group of users, whatever you want, it's here. Yep. So let's get started. Let's start from the infrastructure part and our providers. So what I've got in here is these are 2 providers. This is Red Hat Virtualization and VMware vCenter. let's concentrate on Red Hat virtualization for now. So what I've got here is the information about set of informations about my my Red Hat virtualization provider, where I've got my classes, my hosts, my data stores, virtual machines, and so on. So what we should do to add a new provider, meaning like Red Hat virtualization, it's really simple. If we go to the infrastructure to providers, there is a tab for configuration, add a new provider. And so what we need here is a name, let's name it test. I will not create it after all, just to demonstrate to you. Choose whatever we want from these different options, like also OpenStack platform director itself is in this menu also. Then we need to provide our Red Hat Virtualization Manager IP or host name, port if we change that, username, password on which we would like to authenticate with.
Yes. So authentication, and I see the validation button.
Yes, yes. That's it. Then if we would like to also gather some metrics from Red Hat Virtualization, there is also a way to do that. For your information, there is a detailed guide for that. The only thing from the perspective of Red Hat Virtualization Manager we need to inject a user into the data warehouse database which collects our historical data, and that's basically it. Yes, the rest is done natively. Yes? So we don't need to add any modification into it. Let me show you how it looks like on my ref, which is already created. So that's basically it. Yes, I use a default admin with connection to the engine history database for user CFME, and that's it. That's what I do. That's everything what you need actually. Then there is a need for a time for CloudForms to work. Yes, because this is a tool which is designed to work constantly inside your environment. It needs to gather some information. It needs to gather some data to be able to present it to you. Yes. So that's the thing which you should be aware of. But the good thing, it's not a greenfield tool. Yeah? So if you already have your infra working, you just need to, you don't need to create everything from scratch. You just need to add it to your already working infrastructure, and CloudForms will gather all the information. So this is a very good thing. If you would like to continue working with CloudForms, go ahead. If you don't want to, just stop CloudForms and your infra will remain the same in the same state. All right, so that was basic overview of what we can do here. There is much more around this providers, clusters, virtual machines, which we can also show you here around Red Hat virtualization, and to just filter out some machines. We've got like a RHEL machine which is working currently here on
so basically you can go see all of the imported, let's say, machines, and you can, based on filters, you can grab and put into the catalog, or you can do some magic.
Yes, you can compose your own filters if you want. It's based on tags or whatever you want. You've got here, I just used a pre-configured one.
Okay, go on.
Okay, let's see now what we can do from the Ansible perspective. Yes, so here we've got a very interesting tab, which is automation one. And inside CloudForms, as I said, we've got embedded Ansible, which is embedded into the product, and we've got also a way to put it together to integrate it with Ansible Tower. So let me show you the embedded Ansible option. So if I'm gonna go to configuration section, I would see the server control roles, actually server roles. Yes? So here, as my demo environment is just a one single CloudForms appliance. So I've got all-in-one installation, basically speaking. I've got almost all of my roles running here. So I've got my embedded Ansible here working on my CloudForms appliance, as you can see. And this is what we need to do at the very beginning if we would like to run our embedded Ansible, because by default it's not turned on.
Okay.
So we need to do it. We need to wait a little bit for it to be active, but then we need another thing. Yes. So here in the in this menu, you will find out that there are two sub-menus, like credentials. Let's explore it a little bit. So what are the credentials? Credentials here are just for us to be consumed, meaning to connect with specific credentials to my Git repo if it needs some credentials, to my machine if I would like to log into it and do some magic, some automation on top of it. This is what I need, for example, in here or in here. This is my machine root credential for this case. Then also I've got my Red Hat virtualization Ansible credentials, which allows me to connect to the platform itself with Ansible and do some automation on top of it. Yes, so that's what
we have a GitHub. We have it connected to a specific VM, and we are connected to the Red Hat virtualization.
Yes, that's what we need from the perspective of embedded Ansible. So this is what we got right now, and then we need our playbooks. So that's why we need to create a repositories for that, and we've got some. Today we're going to use this one, my initials and CloudForms playbooks, and we're gonna use actually that one for the custom button, but I will introduce it to you later on. And here we can find our playbook. So in this repo, I will find out that there are some settings. For example, what is the source control management type, what is the URL branch, and so on and so forth. Yes, so the standard way to work with Git. This is what we can find here. Another thing, the last one, these are our playbooks. So when we synchronize our repositories, we will find all our playbooks in here from different repos inside, as you can see, embedded Ansible. So this is what we need. Then there is
the credentials, repositories, and the playbooks.
Yes, inside repositories. Then there is a place for our Ansible tower. So the second option, if we don't want to utilize our embedded Ansible, because you need to know that this is just, embedded Ansible can see what CloudForms can see. Yes? So CloudForms unfortunately cannot see everything. Yes, but Ansible tower can see everything what is around Ansible world. I mean, what Ansible itself can touch. So having CloudForms is much broader. Yes? If we would like to go into networking part, like physical switches and so on, we will not see them inside CloudForms, because CloudForms doesn't have a capabilities to touch physical switches and to see the inventory of them. Tower can see them, can produce an inventory, and be able to touch them. Yes? So if we would like to run a playbook against, let's say, Cisco switch, we can do it easily with Tower.
Tower, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's explore. Let's see what we've got here. We've got one provider, which is my one Ansible tower, which is in here. We can see all of my templates, all of my which are in here. We can see all of my credentials, projects, inventories, and so on and so forth. Yes, so that's what we see actually right now in the CloudForms UI. my inventory, which is in sync with what we saw on Tower previously. Then configured system, then my job templates. So here I've got all my job templates ready to use in Ansible Tower. And having that integration is much easier for us to consume, because if we already have something prepared on Tower, it is based on our credentials, of course. It is visible for CloudForms and it can be just consumed. We don't need to introduce any modifications into it and so on. So
it will be fully transparent. All of the things that we done in the Tower,
it's just basically a RESTful API call to Tower to just inform Tower, okay, right now, dear Tower, please start my playbook, and that's it. So this is pretty simple. Nothing really is to be scared about. If you would like to configure a new Tower provider, this is what we need to provide. This URL, name, username, password. That's it. That's what we need. Okay, so let's take a look at the service tab, and let's maybe create a service for us. So let me start another window for CloudForms. Which will allows us to log into self-service portal, which is different portal than this one we just saw. Let me show you. I've got my dashboard, I've got my catalogs. So here, after some, I hope soon we should see our service catalog, which is it was already there. Sorry for that. Let me jump back. So you can see my portfolio of services. There is app server or Red Hat virtualization. There is an app stack, which means this can be multiple different servers spread even across different providers. And then there is my CloudForms and Tower bundle, which is a combination of CloudForms automation and Tower automation in one service. Then database, then different tasks. So let me show you how to create another one for us for today. Okay. So what we're gonna do, what we need go into the service catalogs, where we have a few catalogs, Red Hat demo and some other demo. And in the catalog items, there is a place to create my catalog item, which is just one thing to do, meaning that just one block, and we can rely on this block as an entire service, or we can compose a set of blocks together, put them together, and introduce it to our customers, our users, as a service bundle.
Okay.
So just a combination,
so here you
compilation
of
different pieces together. Okay, so let's add a new catalog item. Let's choose it from our already running providers. Yes, so we can today we will rely on Red Hat virtualization, and then I will name it like it. This is gonna be our service. I would like to display it into the catalog. Then I would like to add it to the Red Hat demo catalog. And then I would like to also connect this service with the simple dialog. What is the dialog? Let me explain later on, but let's say I will find some VM provisioning dialog. I believe that's.
I like the VM T-shirt.
Yeah.
Well, we'll not use it.
We'll not use it today. Then details, you can put here some HTML formatted or just text formatted description of what it's all about. Let's skip it, and then request info. So here I'm able to choose what kind of template I would like to use for that.
Okay, so the number of the RAM, number of the
exactly,
VCPUs,
exactly. What you can see here, those templates are already here on the platform.
Okay,
so this is just a copy of the templates you will see directly from Red Hat Virtualization Manager. So let me choose this one. Then I will use a native clone as this is the fastest one. I have also an options for ISO or PXE installation option. For now, let's stick to the native clone and just VM name, which will be overwritten. Yes, so here I need to provide something, some name. If I'm not gonna override it, I will get this one with some iteration on at the very end. Yes,
okay.
So 001, 002, and so on. If it's the case. Then with environment, what I've got here, I've got all my data centers. As I'm just have one. This is the list.
Microlab, yeah.
Yeah, microcluster, the only one cluster. Then I can specify on which host I would like to run my machine, and in which data store. Yes, that's what I can do. But I can also choose automatically. If I choose automatically, then CloudForms will decide. Okay, on this provider, I've got the smallest number or smallest footprint for the VMs is on host, let's say node 3. And I will put it also on the data store, which has the biggest free space for it. Okay. So let's have it. We can choose the hardware if we want. We can choose the networks, and here I've got all my networks from my provider again. And here the customizations. This is really good thing about customizing our VMs on top of Ref. We can use, for example, Cloud Init if we want to. We have also a possibility to use sysprep if we are talking about Windows machines and so on. Yeah. So for today, we're not going to use anything, just to speed up.
But yeah, just the information that we can fully customize the template. Yes, here. Okay.
Exactly. Adding static IP address, adding some packages even during the VM creation is possible. Now, then with scheduled, we're gonna start our machine. The lifespan of this machine will be infinite, but we can also specify at the very beginning how long does this machine gonna last. By default, of course.
What about the decommission? So what about the 1 month, for example? It will shut down and delete it, or it will inform?
The user who just start this machine after, as I remember correctly, it's 2 weeks time before it's gonna be deleted. He or she will get a notification.
Okay.
Yes, and then can be extended or can be just wait for the shutdown, and then it will be deleted by default. Yeah, so this is the default behavior. Okay, so we've got this. Let's see. I hope it's gonna create one. Yep. And in the Red Hat demo, we've got our Storware demo. Yeah? So if we're going to let's say refresh this one, we should see our UI with our Storware demo here. Yeah. So this is what we can do. And let me check what kind of dialog I just clicked to it. Of course, wrong one. So yeah, but this is a good time to show you the dialogues where we create dialogues. Just briefly going into automation, automate, and customization. And here we've got service dialog tab, where we can find the different dialogues. Yes, so we here have some dialogues, some place to just ask our user for input. Yes?
Okay.
So simple service dialog will be just enough for us. So let me change it very quick, and then we will be able to run it in where I have it.
We need to be in a hurry because we have already 10 minutes left.
Okay. Okay.
Well, let's try to cope with it.
Okay. Okay. Let me just speed up a little bit. And this one should be simple VM service dialog.
Okay, so you're changing the dialog. So the
Saving.
dialog is actually the custom when you creating some customization.
Yes.
So this what will be visible from the catalog perspective.
Yeah, this is the custom work.
Okay.
So you do it by yourself. You can also modify what is already there, because there is with CloudForms it is shipped with some already prepared dialogues. And if we're gonna go into our simple, it's just as a drop down area. So you are putting here, adding some other stuff to it, add some let's say labels, options for different behavior. Name, it's gonna be my variable name in this case. And so that's how we compose it. Okay, let's cancel it. Let's not modify it. But it's really straightforward, and you can modify. You can do it whatever you want. Basically speaking, it's a very powerful one because even it's not just a simple ask question and wait for the answer, but you can also introduce here a dynamic style of dialogue. So based on first answer, you can fill in, let's say, 5 different fields into it. Yes? So that's pretty powerful one. So let me just jump into the service catalog once again. Let's add it. Let's name it test VM 001. Let's leave it with the defaults and add to the shopping cart. And here in the shopping cart you will see...
We'll ask for my credentials and
credit
card number.
Yeah, I will introduce it in the next
But
level.
it's also possible.
Yeah,
it's also possible to have a purchase. Yeah.
Because I didn't mention that CloudForms also have the chargeback option. So you will be able also to track the number of zlotys or dollars or euro, whatever, how your infrastructure is used, and based on that proceed. Yeah. So let's order that. Yes, and here with ordering, because I introduce also.
So right now, let's imagine I'm one of the users. So we have a private cloud approach.
Yep.
I'm one of the division. I would like to provision some new VMs.
Yep.
So I don't need to go to the admin. I just go into the CloudForms portal. Based on my credential, I see the list of the catalog, so I can order one of the machines, and all of the chargeback information, credential, provisioning will be there. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So what I did, I just create a provisioning service request, and I just come back to the admin portal, go to the services requests, and I'm here in my request details. So I also configured my CloudForms to be pretty strict, meaning that every single service I need to add approval for that. Yeah? So there is approval workflow added to it. So I'm an admin user, and every time anyone will ask CloudForms for some service, I will get an approval request. Yes, and this is the request, so I can say okay, let's go.
The reason I don't like you.
Yeah. Submit, and then machine starts. Yes, so it will provision another machine called in our case the test VM 001 on our Red Hat virtualization. It will take some time, yes, because this workflow has a lot of different options we can customize. Yes? So we will not use even 1/10 of it, but it's there. So it will check it, through the process. But when it's starting, I think it's a good time to show you the custom button options based on the compute and infrastructure. So what I did, I extend my menu inside Red Hat CloudForms and I extend it for the virtual machine view. Yeah? So we've got filtered out our Red Hat simple machine, which is which is our example today. And what I did, this is something what you get by default. Yes, this part of the menu, like configuration, like changing the, for example, configuration of the machine, like adding VM memory, adding CPUs, and so on. If the provider allows you for that, then you can also check if your machine is compliant with your rules, which I also have some compliance policy, but we don't have time for that. Then life cycle, if I would like to retire this VM, go ahead, I can do it. If I would like to migrate it between hosts, I can also do it. If I would like to see some monitoring data, some timelines or chargeback preview for this particular VM, I can do it. Yes, then also access to the console and powering stuff. Let's leave it. Yeah, let's go ahead. So what I'm gonna concentrate on this button menu.
Okay.
So I've got a bunch of different testing stuff, but I've got also here a menu for package install and uninstall option. So simple thing. Let's go back to the service. Let's go to the service catalog. And here I've got in the item, in the service, in the Red Hat demo one, I've got install package on rel. And here I'm going to consume embedded Ansible, just item type is just Ansible playbook.
So you're using actually the playbook.
Yes,
embedded.
using actually the playbook which is stored on the GitLab.
Okay.
Yes. From this repository, this is the playbook. This is the one which is in here.
You showed before.
I use the machine root credentials, which is maybe not the very good way.
For the demo purposes.
For the demo purpose, it's going to run for sure. Then I can attach the verbosity and so on and so forth. Yes, so even privilege escalation, if I'm going to use another user like just a regular user, yes, I can also introduce it. And I also introduce a dialog. But this item is not going to be presented in the catalog, meaning like self-service. Yes, I will not see it. I didn't see it. So this service is reserved, in my case, because I want to be like that, is reserved just for the button.
Okay.
So here is the playbook, and you will see that we're going to use just one module with name and state, and basically that's it. And we will add this name and state during our provisioning process. One more thing here with automate and customization, there is a place called buttons. So here, based on different, let's say, types of environment or place which we can find in the CloudForms, there are different ways to put different buttons. So, for example, I would like to install something on machine only on VMs and instances. It doesn't have any sense to have such a thing to be installed on provider itself. Yes, because we don't want to be there. We can also specify how it should behave. So maybe it should be visible only when the machine is on, not off. Because what is it doesn't make sense to have a button to install something on the machine which is just powered off. Yes, that doesn't make sense. And the same for the OS type and so on and so forth. Yes, so that's a lot of huge things, number of things you can introduce into it. Okay, let's go back to it.
Yeah, I need to be, I need to time pressure you.
Okay. So just to show you how it works, and then there will be time for sum up. Okay? So what I'm gonna do on my rel VM, which I just showed you, I will click and then should see some dialog. Yes, and this is my dialog. Let's say I would like to install my HTTPD package. This is the name of the package. I can also form a list if I would like to, but this is not my case. And I would like to install. So the state in here would be HTTPD and install. Actually present in Ansible, to be 100% specific. Okay, let's submit. Yep, so I introduce the approval flow, so this needs also some approval.
So it's a request ID.
Basic, in the normal way, you probably will not have that. You will make it somehow, filter it somehow on the role-based access scenario. So this is what I did just to demonstrate you that it's also possible to make it work in this way. Okay, go. This is the reason why you should go, and here we will find this will do something in the background in my infrastructure, in my virtual machines. I will find out that I didn't connect to my machine. So let me connect to it. SSH is the 162. It will be pretty fast. Yeah? So let me check if I already have this Red Hat this HTTPD package installed. Should be already there because Ansible is pretty fast and this playbook wasn't huge one. Yeah? So it should work. QA HTTPD, it's there. Yeah. So as you can see, we can do also some zoom in just to be able to see. We just installed the HTTPD package with our custom button. Yes, as it is Ansible underneath, it can be literally everything. This little button can be a huge thing to be introduced.
So if you would like to be as crazy as possible, so we could automate everything from the UI perspective. So never use even the CLI. Of course, it won't happen. But let's imagine that way. Okay.
Yeah. So that was actually something what I was about to show you today in the really short, compact way. I hope.
So imagine we are after 1 hour, and it's a really compact way. Yeah. But definitely, it's a topic for the part 4. But we promise that we'll finish on the 3. But definitely, if you will have any further questions, just comment our demo, our recording, or contact us privately via the social media, or write email to the info Open Virtualization Pro. Today we've been talking about we finalized the trilogy of the admin automation for the Red Hat virtualization oVirt, introducing the CloudForms as a major engine platform to orchestrate all of the things that we would like to make our life
consumable, basically.
Consumable,
in an easy GUI way style.
So Jacek, it was a pleasure to have this trilogy with you. We didn't finish. We just finalized the 3 parts. Looking forward for the next webinars. So if you will have any question, don't hesitate to contact us. Jacek,
thank you very much, Paweł.
Anything else from your side?
I'm good. I think that was a huge amount of knowledge in a very compact way, I would say. Yeah? So that's something which you, of course, need to develop, each of you by yourself, tuned to your needs. But I hope we showed you how to start, and that was our goal.
That was our goal, and I think we made it. So thank you for your time, for your webinar.